Welcome back to ABCGH Spoilers channel. Today we're diving into a tangled situation that's equal parts academic ambition, hidden romance, and possible betrayal at Port Charles University. Rumors are swirling around campus, and not just about midterms. The latest buzz? There's speculation that Emma Scorpio Drake might be keeping a major secret from her classmates, one that could change the dynamic of the whole department. Word is, she's involved in a hush-hush relationship with none other than Professor Henry Dalton. While she's never been one to stir up drama, this revelation could put her directly in the line of fire, especially with Jocelyn Jacks now entering the picture. If the rumors are true, Emma could be facing a storm of her own making, one complicated further by the presence of an ambitious new student who might accidentally blow the whole thing wide open. Jocelyn Jacks, recently added to the roster of Dalton's competitive environmental physics seminar, has no idea she's stepping onto an emotional minefield. Her mission seems straightforward: earn the coveted research assistant position under Dalton and build her academic credibility. But the stakes aren't just academic. Unknowingly, Joss might be treading dangerously close to someone else's secret territory. What happens when ambition collides with hidden personal ties? Joss's intentions may be purely professional, but the optics of her enrollment say otherwise. Emma, already protective of her secret connection with Dalton, may see Joss's enthusiasm as a threat, or worse, a move to replace her, both in the lab and in Dalton's life. At the heart of this spiraling web is the risk of perception. Even if Joss is purely focused on physics formulas and research protocols, Professor Dalton himself may begin to blur the lines. He's known for being intense, perhaps even overly invested in his most promising students. If Joss pushes too hard for the assistant role, she may unknowingly send the wrong signals. For Dalton, who's under pressure from the department to bring in stellar research talent, Joss's interest could be misread as something beyond academic. These moments, office hour chats that go late, shared enthusiasm over scientific papers, might cross into ambiguous territory. And if Emma catches wind of even a hint of flirtation, the fallout could be explosive. Jocelyn, for her part, is navigating a delicate balance. She's not new to high-pressure environments, but this is a whole different battlefield. The late enrollment means she's already behind. Vaughn, her academic advisor and mentor, advised her to be assertive, connect with Dalton, stand out, secure the assistantship. But what Vaughn didn't factor in was the potential emotional minefield waiting in Dalton's orbit. Jocelyn is smart enough to know she needs to work twice as hard just to get on Dalton's radar academically. But there's no guidebook for navigating professors who may interpret assertiveness as flirtation, or for managing jealous classmates who might be guarding secrets of their own. She's reading every assigned paper twice, dissecting previous student projects, and even auditing past lectures online just to close the knowledge gap. Joss knows she has to earn this position on merit, and she's willing to grind for it. But here's where the problem kicks in: her ambition might come off as calculated charm, especially to someone like Dalton, whose ego may feed off that kind of attention. And the truth is, she's not interested in complicating things with a scandal or even a whisper of impropriety. Her goal is pure, academic growth, hands-on research experience, and the kind of recommendation letter that opens real doors. Unfortunately, intentions don't always match perceptions. What makes this situation more volatile is Emma's quiet observance. She's not just a passive presence in the classroom. She sees who raises their hand too often, who lingers after class, and who's suddenly extra interested in a course they never cared about before. Her instincts are sharp, and if she starts suspecting that Joss is getting close to Dalton, whether romantically or academically, it might provoke a reaction. And if Emma's own secret relationship with Dalton is more serious than anyone realizes, her response could turn cold or confrontational fast. Will she confront Joss? Warn her off? Or play a more strategic game to protect her own standing? There's also a wider context to consider. Dalton's past relationships with students, though never proven inappropriate, have raised eyebrows before. Nothing that would get him fired, but enough whispers to make faculty quietly keep watch. If Jocelyn becomes the new favorite, it won't go unnoticed. One wrong move and Dalton could be facing a formal complaint, even if his only crime is poor judgment. And for Joss, any hint of favoritism could damage her academic credibility before it even starts. She's worked too hard to have her name dragged into campus gossip. Jocelyn has to play this with precision. She can't come on too strong, but she also can't afford to stay in the background. Every interaction, every comment in class, every question during office hours will be scrutinized by Dalton, by Emma, and by the watchful academic eyes around them. Even Vaughn might start questioning whether his advice put her in a difficult spot. But Joss isn't one to quit. She's learned from her mother Carly how to navigate complicated people. She knows how to read a room, even when the stakes are unspoken. That said, there's only so much maneuvering she can do when others' secrets are colliding with her ambition. As the semester unfolds, the tension is bound to escalate. Emma's secret might not stay hidden for long, especially if Dalton starts paying more attention to Joss than she's comfortable with. And Joss? She might find herself caught between two impossible choices: secure the research assistantship she's worked so hard for, or walk away to avoid being seen as the villain in someone else's story. Either way, she'll be forced to ask herself, how far is too far when your reputation and your future are on the line? Next, we'll learn about the complex emotional crossroads Jason Morgan now faces in the wake of seismic changes to his personal life. With everything he's endured in Port Charles, violence, betrayals, disappearances, and returns from the dead, Jason Morgan has always had a singular anchor: love. But as he stands at yet another romantic precipice, the real question looms large: can Jason ever experience the kind of love he once had with Sam McCall again? Or has that window closed permanently, buried with Sam herself? Jason's future may include flings, rekindled connections, or even unexpected emotional bonds, but deep down, there's a melancholy that no fan can ignore. His connection with Sam was raw, layered, and transformative. She wasn't just another love interest, she was the love interest. Their romance wasn't perfect, but it had gravity. So the real challenge now becomes emotional authenticity. Can any future love for Jason even compare to what he had with Sam? Or will each relationship be unfairly measured against a ghost? Carly Spencer remains a significant figure in Jason's life, and with good reason. Their shared history is thick with emotional undertones, unspoken loyalty, and tragic near misses. If her relationship with Jack Brennan falls apart, as some spoilers suggest, the road may open for Jason and Carly to reconnect. But rekindling that flame comes with complications. Are they reaching for each other because of genuine passion, or are they both simply trying to fill the silence left behind by other heartbreaks? Then there's the curveball that could shake the fandom: whispers of a possible Jason and Anna Devane pairing. The two, now seen sharing quiet moments in the room above Bobby's, a space they've chosen for discreet meetings, might be inching towards something more intimate. This development has polarized longtime viewers. For many, Anna is forever tied to Duke Lavery, and Jason, well, his connection to Robin Scorpio Drake complicates everything. If Jason and Anna explore a deeper bond, are they simply two broken people seeking comfort, or are we watching the start of a truly mature love story? Meanwhile, Jason's current involvement in Sasha Gilmore Corbin's life has raised eyebrows and sparked speculation. As he steps into a fatherly role for Sasha's child, fans wonder whether this co-parenting situation might blossom into a more romantic dynamic. It would be a grounded, family-first pairing, something Jason has arguably always wanted but never quite achieved. Yet, for some viewers, this feels less like destiny and more like emotional convenience. Still, the possibility of a real family, a quiet life filled with baby bottles instead of bullets, might be exactly what Jason needs. But let's not sugarcoat it: fan excitement over Jason's new romantic prospects has been lukewarm. Compared to the electricity that once surrounded him and Sam, everything else feels muted. There's a lingering sense that no one has quite clicked with him since her.
And maybe that's not just nostalgia talking.
Maybe Sam really was the defining love of Jason Morgan's life. Fans still reel from Sam's death. Her passing wasn't just a plot twist, it felt like a gut punch. For years, viewers held on to the hope of a Jasmine reunion. Even as Sam pursued new relationships and Jason returned from his many near deaths, the idea that they might find each other again was a comfort. Now the dream has been stolen, and many feel robbed of proper closure. They didn't just lose Sam, they lost what she and Jason could have been. What made Sam's death particularly painful was the abruptness. It ended any chance of a future for them in an instant, with no slow fade-out or reconciliation arc.
Just gone.
For longtime fans who lived and breathed their storyline, it was more than disappointing. It felt like the door slammed shut on a love story that deserved a better ending. Some called it a narrative injustice, others quietly stopped watching altogether. Still, as any seasoned GH viewer knows, no character is ever truly gone forever. In the world of Port Charles, where resurrections are practically a genre requirement, there's always the possibility that Sam could return, especially if actress Kelly Monaco decides to reprise her role. Imagine the twist: Jason, just as he begins to settle into a new romance, suddenly faces the return of the woman he never stopped loving. Soap gold.
Until then, the show must go on.
Jason continues to evolve as a character, learning to father Sasha's child, managing his alliances, and trying to find a sliver of peace in a world that rarely offers any. And viewers, though mourning the loss of Sam, are watching closely, ready to judge, support, or challenge every new romantic step he takes.
In the end, the question remains, does Jason even want to fall in love again? Or has his heart been hardened too many times to risk another loss?
Perhaps, deep down, he knows that love like he had with Sam only happens once.
Everything else is just an echo. Next, we're diving deep into the drama unfolding in Port Charles between April 14th and April 25th, 2025.
There's love, deception, hidden truths, and explosive surprises waiting for your favorite characters.
Let's break it all down.
As we move into the week of April 21st, an unexpected alliance begins to take shape as Trina Robinson finds herself bonding with Kai Taylor in a way that catches even her off guard. What began as casual chats and mutual respect slowly evolves into something more layered, an emotional connection neither saw coming. While their relationship is still in its infancy, it's clear these two might be destined for a story far deeper than a fleeting friendship.
Is Trina ready to open her heart again? And can Kai, who harbors his own emotional baggage, be the person she needs?
Meanwhile, Marco Rios, whose presence in Port Charles has been raising eyebrows, decides to turn his attention fully toward Lucas Jones.
Marco's charm offensive is on full display, but Lucas is no fool.
Still emotionally bruised from past betrayals, he finds Marco's interest both flattering and suspicious.
Fans are beginning to wonder, is Marco truly smitten, or does he have a hidden motive?
After all, Marco's past isn't exactly squeaky clean, and his sudden focus on Lucas feels a little too strategic.
Could this connection be a setup for heartbreak or blackmail?
Elsewhere, Emma's Scorpio Drake begins to notice things that don't quite add up. Her intuition, sharpened from years of living in a family full of spies, doctors, and detectives, starts to tingle as strange behavior surfaces around her. From overheard conversations to hushed tones in the hallways of General Hospital, Emma's curiosity is piqued.
Is she catching wind of the secret between Jocelyn Jacks and Professor Henry Dalton? Or is there something even more dangerous lurking beneath the surface? Speaking of secrets, Jocelyn Jacks continues her mysterious mission involving the enigmatic Professor Henry Dalton. While on the surface, it appears to be just another academic encounter, fans suspect Joss is operating undercover. Could she be gathering intel for someone else, perhaps even Jason Morgan? There's also the question of whether Henry Dalton is as innocent as he seems. Why has he drawn so much attention so quickly? Is he connected to the deeper web of deception unfolding in Port Charles?
Jason Morgan, as usual, is at the center of multiple plotlines, but one stands out: his looming confrontation with Sasha Gilmore Corbin. Jason is nothing if not methodical, and sources say he's closing in on a secret Sasha has been keeping under wraps, a clandestine deal involving the shady Jen Sidwell. The details remain fuzzy, but it's rumored Sasha may have compromised herself to protect someone she loves. If Jason finds out the full extent of her actions, it could lead to a serious fallout, not just between them, but within the Corinthos circle itself.
And now to one of the most explosive setups in recent weeks, Dante Falconeri's birthday celebration.
Orchestrated by Sonny Corinthos, the party is meant to be a joyous, low-key affair. However, viewers know that nothing stays simple in this town. What Dante doesn't realize is that there's a ticking time bomb tied to his past. A woman from years ago, Brooklyn Quartermain, knows the truth: Dante has a son he's never met. Rumblings suggest that the secret could start leaking during the party. If that happens, Dante's world will be rocked in a way he's never experienced. Elsewhere, viewers should keep an eye on Lucas Jones, who seems to be caught in a web of personal tension. Some sources hint that this tension may be tied to Brad Cooper, Lucas' former partner, and a possible rekindling or unresolved fallout. Others think it could be Marco's sudden interest that's throwing him off balance. Either way, Lucas is headed for a storyline revival, and fans are eager to see what happens next. Over at the legal front, Alexis Davis is facing a gut-wrenching ethical dilemma. Diane Miller recently advised Alexis to consider having her daughter, Christina Corinthos Davis, committed. While this might seem like the safest course of action given Christina's erratic behavior, Alexis is torn. Her internal struggle is complicated by the thought of explaining this move to Molly Lansing Davis, who remains largely in the dark. As a mother, Alexis is battling with fear, guilt, and a desperate hope that she won't have to sacrifice trust for safety. And if Christina finds out what Alexis is considering? That could ignite a war within the Davis family. At the hospital, Ava Jerome is doing what Ava does best: gloating. She's thrilled about what she perceives as a major win, which she can't help but flaunt in front of Rick Lansing. But Rick, ever the realist, reminds her that no deal has been officially signed yet. His warning hangs heavy in the air. For viewers familiar with Ava's history, this isn't her first premature celebration. Will this victory actually hold, or is she about to be blindsided by a reversal? The drama intensifies when we turn to Willow Tate Corinthos, who's already dealing with the emotional whiplash of moving herself and her kids into Drew Kane's home. On the outside, things might seem stable, but inside, Willow is anything but sure. A sneak peek preview shows Willow confiding in Nina Reeves, expressing doubts that Carly might have been right all along. Could it be that comparing herself to Nellie Benson, arguably one of Port Charles's most infamous figures, pushed Willow to a breaking point? Drew Kane, for his part, seems committed to being the steady presence Willow needs, but their cohabitation raises questions. Was this move driven by love, logistics, or emotional impulse? And more importantly, how will Carly react to all of this? Spoilers indicate Carly is deeply concerned that Willow might be playing right into Drew's arms, and she's not wrong to worry. History shows us that Port Charles relationships don't stay uncomplicated for long. Meanwhile, Jack Brennan steps in with some timely reassurance for his love interest, seemingly calming the storm brewing around Willow and Drew's situation. But can Jack really be trusted to keep things together, or does he have ulterior motives of his own? The love triangle, or is it a love square at this point, adds yet another layer to an already chaotic landscape. To round things out, we circle back to Alexis Davis, whose storyline weaves throughout both weeks with emotional complexity. Her guilt over the potential decision to commit Christina doesn't just reflect a mother's anguish, it opens a larger conversation about mental health, personal responsibility, and the cost of doing what's right. With Diane in one ear and her conscience in the other, Alexis might soon be forced to make a call that redefines her relationship with her daughters forever. So, GH fans, buckle up.
The next 2 weeks in Port Charles are packed with secrets, emotional breakdowns, and life-altering reveals. Stay tuned, and don't forget to subscribe for more spoilers, theories, and breakdowns right here on ABC GH Spoilers channel.